Everybody, welcome. You're not going to believe this, but this is Season 5.
Season 5.
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Of Generationally Speaking.
Generationally
And if you don't know what we do here, what we do is we take topics and we talk about them.
We talk at them.
At them.
We put them in a corner and we point our finger and we say, "You misbehaving child."
Terrible. And we talk about them through a pastoral lens.
Yep.
With
What's
our
a
own
pastoral lens?
I don't know. It says so right here. Through a pastoral lens of our generation.
We approach them through the pastoral lens of our generation. What's your name?
My name's Brad.
Who are you?
I don't even know anymore. Who are you?
And
this is my sidekick over here, Jordan Chitwood, ladies and gentlemen, our online pastor. Up and ready to go.
Yep. Hey, we are so excited that you are here. We have made a few changes, obviously, the podcast setup. And also, this season is filled with so many exciting topics, but also some difficult ones as well.
Great stuff. And here's the interesting thing. You put those topics out, and there's been a lot of talk about them already. Some people are very anxious to get to some of those
Yeah,
topics.
because for this season, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. We're talking about sexuality. We're talking about rebuilding trust in church leaders. We're talking and asking the question in one of our episodes, is there a place for politics in the church? We're talking about abuse and addiction.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. Man, so many different topics.
Some good stuff.
We basically polled different cross-bridgers throughout the summer, asked them, what do you want us to approach through the pastoral lens of our generation to discuss? And one of the coolest things about this, Brad, is you and I have a close enough relationship where even if we share something that might be triggering to the worldly world, okay, we're able to say different things to be able to push each other, but also to not trigger each other, but to spark the conversation in a healthy way.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I think we have lost the ability to have those type of healthy conversations.
Yep.
Even when you're disagreeing.
Absolutely.
And you may not ever agree, but you can still have those kind of conversations. And we've lost the ability to do that.
Yeah, and so tonight, to kick off the season, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to laugh. We're going to joke. We're going to poke fun at each other and the different generations because tonight we are talking about things other generations don't understand.
Have a clue about.
Don't have a clue. And this topic came and was birthed kind of from our conversations and our relationships, because there's times that you'll say something
and you have no clue. And you are like deer in the headlights.
Yep, I am like a bull in a china shop.
You got that one right.
Yeah, but it wasn't the right context. I did that on purpose because I know what it means now.
There you go.
And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just make fun. We're going to have a lot of jokes. Like I said, if you want to win a $25 gift card, comment at least once in the chat, and then everybody who comments will be entered in.
Like a felt board.
Ashton, like a felt board. Scotty Dunn,
I'm going to give you a little
Cups, not chips.
A little insight coming up.
You have some insight.
I got to have some insight.
Okay.
Coming up. I'm just saying, just prepare yourself. We're already planning next year. As teachings and
for the
and
church.
Series and
you
really
like jumped around there.
I'm going by what the audience needs and wants.
Oh, what they need?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I'm following.
The felt board's coming back.
The felt board is coming back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's making a return.
It is.
I can't tell you when.
So to kickstart tonight, we're going to share a few things that other generations just don't understand.
Correct.
And if you would chime in the chat, it would be very helpful so we don't feel alone. Well, Brad, I got to get one off my chest.
Well, yeah, and they may come up with some on their own.
You may, so please comment them.
Because you may want to, I don't know if any of my boomer friends are out there, but you may want to ask our our resident, whoever he is, millennial here,
I'm a resident.
Why is this happening?
True. Why is what happening?
And vice versa. As a millennial, you may say, what do you boomers mean when you say that?
Yeah, like when Brad looks like just a deer in a cornfield, what does that mean? Okay? All right, number one. Okay?
You start, because this is dear to your heart.
This is dear to my heart. Yeah. I have been very passionate about this. Boomers, silent generation, even Gen Xers. Can we please stop talking to each other at the urinals in the bathroom? Can we sidebar the conversations in the bathroom?
Here's what I don't understand.
What do you not understand?
Your generation is the loneliest generation there is.
Yep.
You've got all this anxiety and things.
Yep.
We're just trying to calm you down.
Can you calm me down? Not at the urinal. Okay.
What else you got to do there?
I just got to be honest. Terry Ealing says, ew. My thoughts exactly. Ashton says it's a party in the women's restroom.
See,
I don't know where you're.
Do you guys talk between the stalls?
Nicole Walker says she pledges allegiance.
I will stop talking.
Stop talking at the urinals. Scott says sometimes the conversation is important. Scott, there ain't no conversation important enough to talk about it at the urinals.
Maybe we just want to get to know you a little bit better.
Oh, dude, no, don't get to know me in that way, in that place.
Well, you honestly have another issue.
I have many issues.
You have another issue with boomers that you've been talking about a lot lately.
Yes.
Okay,
Can
go ahead.
Stop. I don't know how to say this appropriately.
Just say it.
I don't mean this inappropriately how I'm going to say it.
Okay.
But it's season 1, so, we're going to get fired. Let's get fired off of that.
Just spit it out.
Can we stop touching each other? Okay? And I don't mean that in an inappropriate way. I just mean like when we're talking, don't put your hand on my shoulder. Don't be like caressing my biceps.
And you complain about me not wanting hugs.
Yes.
I like hugs.
You don't like hugs.
Well, depends.
And not only can we not be like physical with one another.
So you're talking about outside the urinal, though. Right?
Outside the urinal. Stop.
You don't want to be talked at in the urinal,
Yes.
and you don't want to be touched outside the urinal.
I also y'all talk to each other like 1 inch away from each other. It's like your bellies are touching.
There's no personal
Your
space.
bellies are touching, and I'm like, so at the end of a sermon, sometimes some of y'all will come up to me, man. Our noses are just like this. At the urinal. I'm just like, so I've been Sarah Ealing, everyone is going to touch you on Sunday now. Remember, disclaimer, not inappropriately. We're all friends here.
Yeah.
Justin Brown said, are we still talking about being at the urinal?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to clarify that myself, Justin.
At the urinal, in the lobby.
So if you're in the urinal next to Jordan, don't talk to him.
Don't
Don't
talk
touch
to
him.
me. Don't talk
saying,
to me.
You want to be safe.
Yep. Y'all.
This is starting out great.
Oh, I'm laughing so hard. Eric Bobian says close talkers.
Yeah.
I know, Eric. I'm telling you, we keep our distance. The best thing that came from COVID was the 6-foot rule.
And loud talkers.
Loud talkers.
Loud talkers.
The people when you're an inch away.
Well, no,
and they're shouting.
I'll be in a restaurant and you'll hear a conversation, and Barb and I'll make a joke out of it. We'll start chiming into their conversation.
Oh, that's so funny.
There'll be 3 tables away.
Brad, not a single soul on this chat believes you can hear anybody talking from another table. David Delamarter says, if someone comes up behind you at the urinal and puts their hand on your shoulder, not cool. David, that happened to me 2 weeks ago in church. I'm telling you. Okay, so.
Was it a boomer?
It was. So not only did they talk to me at the urinal, they came up and patted me on the back like, hey. Oh, my goodness. Nicole Walker says, just put a urinal in the lobby. Problem solved.
No, I have performance anxiety. So I couldn't do it in the
when
lobby.
it comes to peeing.
When it comes to peeing.
Brad, okay, again.
That's too much information.
Too much information.
Too much information.
If you're going to say
sorry.
something weird, preface it.
All right, sorry.
Justin Brown says, the police song is going through my head. Don't stand so, don't stand so. Is that another
so close.
boomer Gen Xing I'm not going to understand?
Yeah.
David wants to confirm in the chat, it wasn't me touching Jordan. I promise. Sarah, just scream really loud. They'll never do it again. Oh my! All right.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We beat that one.
We have been making fun of boomers a lot.
We have.
Not too long ago, you asked me to go back. Our microphones at the church.
Yes.
For C3 Sports.
Correct.
The batteries went dead.
Correct.
You said, Jordan, can you go get me some 9-volt batteries?
Yep.
Looked at you like, what in the world is a 9-volt battery?
Yep.
Things younger generations don't
transistor
understand.
Battery.
A what?
A transistor battery is what they are.
I don't
called.
have an appropriate response for that.
Yeah.
What is it?
A transistor battery.
So what is it?
It's a 9-volt battery.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those little rectangular batteries.
Frank Sims, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the chat. A Gen Xer will just pay you on the bottom and say, pat you on the bottom and say, good game. Yeah. Let's not pat each other on the bottom. We're going to get fired. All right, next one. All right, this one shocked me.
What do you call a 9-volt battery? You should just be charging smoke alarms. Yeah, smoke alarms have all of them.
Yeah. Okay, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
No, I can't confess that.
All right.
Because it's not safe. You know how you get your smoke alarms to stop beeping?
No, how?
You just take the battery out.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I know. I should probably change
Yeah,
my
but
batteries.
you-
Jeff Yoder.
You know what kind of battery's in there?
What kind of battery?
A 9-volt transistor.
Anyway, Jeff Yoder, a battery for a transistor radio. Not sure what that is. What's a transistor radio?
It's a radio that takes transistor batteries.
Hey,
Thanks,
comment
Jeff.
down below. What are things
Thanks,
other
Jeff.
generations don't understand? Here's another one. Y'all used to go to the grocery store to make change.
This comes from last.
What does this come from?
This comes last year from. I'm gonna throw your wife under the bus.
I remember this.
She didn't have any change in the concession stand. She said, "What do I do?" I said, "Go to the grocery store." She said, "What?" I said, "Go to the grocery
I
store."
remember this exact conversation.
She said, "They're just going to give me change." I said, "No, you got to take like a 20, and then they'll make lower change."
It was one of the midweek soccer games that we had to make up in the springtime, and we were out here.
Oh my gosh!
And we were out here, and we ran out of change, and so you told Marissa
Run
to go to the grocery
store and get some
Go
change.
up to Meyer and
get
just,
some change.
And she's like,
They're
not
going
going to give me change.
You got it. You got to give them money.
Oh, that was
and then
so
they
funny.
give it back. You tell them what you
Oh.
want. And she came back. She said, "I had no idea they could do that."
That's so funny. Ashton
Oh.
said, I used to go and buy gum to get change. Jordan and Marissa do not count for millennials. True. Dave Delamarter says it's called breaking a 20, 50, or 100. Here's one. I'm going to skip ahead because this
Okay.
one was really funny to me.
Okay.
I don't think you read this one.
Okay.
Okay. Why do we say hang up the phone? How do you hang up the phone, Brad?
Because in my day, you actually had to hang up the phone.
I know. Isn't that
hold
mind blowing?
to hold it to your ear, you know. Yeah.
And you
and
had
I said, when you asked me, I said, yeah, and we also have to have a rotary dial where you put your finger in and take it all to where it stops and then let it go, and it go.
In your ear?
Yeah.
That's
You'd
so
hear it.
funny. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Sarah Ealing said, I was also sent to Kroger for C3 change once. I was shocked it was possible.
I can't even fathom this.
Oh, that's so funny. Kids today, ask kids today to pretend to be on the phone. They make their hands flat like iPhones.
Are you serious?
That's so funny because it doesn't.
used to be like this.
Oh, that's perfect.
I had no idea.
Oh, that's perfect.
I had no idea.
Okay.
Okay. One of my favorites.
Yep.
Can I take one of my
Yep, you do
favorites for you guys?
Yeah,
Is
you do it.
how to address an envelope.
Oh my gosh. So you and I are both on a Christian healthcare plan.
Correct.
Okay, the same one.
Yes.
Once a year, because the majority of the time you can pay through PayPal because you send your money to different people
Right.
through different
And that's
needs.
just been recent.
Oh, really?
It used to be that you had to send
Oh,
it all the
man.
time. Yeah.
Once a year, though, you have to send a paper check to the office in
organization.
Illinois to help keep the lights on.
Right.
Okay. So once a year, I come to your office. I did just recently. And I don't know if you remember the exact things I said. Maybe she's not watching. I said, please don't make a big deal about this because I don't want Barb to make fun of me. But did I address the envelope correctly? And I had you look
You
at
did.
the envelope.
You did.
Yep.
And I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but we had an intern not too long ago.
Which one?
I can't say.
Oh, it was Kiana, wasn't it?
I wasn't going to
remember
say.
this.
We were sending out a mailing. And we decided to handwrite. It was only like 20 letters or something. So we decided to handwrite everything on them.
Oh, I remember this. There were
And the
there
return-
were a ton of them.
Was there a ton of them?
Oh yeah, it took her all day.
The return address
Was in the wrong spot,
was where the stamp goes, and the stamp was in the other place.
so she had to redo them all.
Had to redo them
Oh,
all.
I remember that. Dave Delmar says, "FYI, my sixth grader just explained how to write an envelope."
There you go. You're raising her right, Dave.
Did she just go through JA though? Because Junior Achievement teaches you how to address envelopes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was way back in my day.
How many letters do you send a year?
A year?
A month? Do you
Oh
do you
no,
ever
I send maybe 3 a year.
Okay. Trevor, how many you sent? Have you ever
Trevor
sent,
says
sent an
0.
envelope somewhere?
99%. I mean, even now,
Not in the last 3 years.
Trevor said not in the last
No.
3 years.
Okay.
He doesn't have a microphone
All right.
tonight. We
We're
need to
gonna
get him a
move on.
microphone next time. All right, next one.
We're already 20 minutes in.
Hey, that's okay.
And
We're
we
having a
haven't
blast.
gotten anything
We have
yet.
18 viewers on Facebook. I don't know why. Here's a funny one, and Trevor actually brought this one up for Gen Z. Okay, will Gen Z even know what or not Gen Z, Alpha? Will Generation Alpha even know what a USB port is, or just USB-C? And then my next question was, Brad, do you even know what a USB-C port is?
It's the third port. There's a USB-A, there's a USB-B,
Oh
and
my
a USB-C
gosh.
port. So it's
You
the
thought
third,
about that joke,
it's the
didn't you?
1/3 on this. I know, it just came to me. I have no idea what a USB-C is. What is a USB-C?
A USB-C?
Yeah.
It's like the new Mac chargers right there. This one. It's not the iPhone charger, but it's a little bit bigger. It's right there. It's what you plug to charge your Mac.
Okay, yeah. I have one. I had no idea what it
Courtney
was.
Ramo. Courtney, we were sad. You were supposed to come hang out with us. He doesn't adult.
I
I still
send
send
snail
snail
mail
mail
Christmas
Christmas cards some years. Ashton brought up a good point. How many of you in the chat have used a floppy disk?
Yeah. Floppy disk.
What's a floppy disk for? Is it like a memory card? You have no idea what they're even for, do you?
No, you never write. When you used to get a program.
What's a
to put on-
program?
A program to put on your computer. Say
Okay.
Microsoft Word.
Okay.
It would come with like 20 floppy disks, maybe 30.
20 floppy disks?
So you'd put this floppy disk
Okay.
in, and you start loading the program, and when it was loaded that part of the program, you'd have to put the next one in, and the next one in, and the next one in, and the next one in.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible.
Wow, 20 people are watching with us on Facebook. If you want to be entered to win a $25 gift card, all you have to do is comment once tonight, and I'll put your name in a drawing. Oh, man, so many things just went in the chat, so I can't read them all.
Here's one that you asked me for, and I had kind of forgotten about this, honestly.
Okay.
You asked me in all seriousness
Yep.
today, said, did you actually have to call the movie theater to see what was playing?
Yeah. Did you?
Absolutely.
So back in the day, you had to call to see
You had
what
to-
and when was playing.
You'd have to call up the
Oh
movie, and
my
you had to go through the
gosh.
whole process of at 6:30, Towering Inferno was
Seriously?
playing. At 7:30.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So many things. All right, next one. Hashtag. Oh, this was so funny. Back in the day, because you know I'm famous for my hashtag
yeah.
ad.
Now your mom's doing it.
Yep. You do too. I've started a trend.
Yeah.
I've started a hashtag trend.
Yeah.
You thought it was just called a pound sign.
It is called a pound sign.
No, it's a
still,
hashtag.
It is still called a pound sign.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next question you have to answer in the chat. Hashtag or pound sign. Whenever you see that symbol, what do you think of?
Nicole Walker, I love you, man. That was the greatest Seinfeld.
Seinfeld Kramer. Why
Oh,
don't you just... What's Seinfeld? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Seinfeld. That's one of my dad's favorite show. Sarah Ealing, weren't movies in the newspaper? That's true. Who still gets the newspaper? That's another question to answer. Ashton, I don't think I can read that out loud. Trevor Cremo, number Signe. Pound sign. When you're listening to an automated message on the phone, they tell you to push the pound not. All right. Technically, the hashtag or is called an octothorpe. All right. Both. It's hash in social media, pound when it's in an Excel file. Marissa, you used the pound sign, create a hashtag. Molly Beer, welcome Molly Beer. I used it as a pound sign for work today.
That's
Nice.
because you know what you're talking about, Molly.
Susan Keys calls it a tic-tac-toe sign. All right, here's a couple fun ones. We're just going to go through a couple more fun ones, and then we're going to wrap this up because, you know, it's already 7:25, and our goal of starting at 7 was to not be here until 8:30.
That's true.
Okay. Did y'all used to record your favorite songs on the radio with cassette tapes?
Absolutely.
So, like, how?
You had like
A boom box?
A boom box.
Okay, I know what a boom box is.
And they used to come with a cassette where you could play,
Okay.
and one you could record on.
Okay.
Okay, so if you wanted to record a special song, you would put your recording tape in there, and when the song came on, you'd press play or
Okay.
record and record it, but you had to unrecord it before the next commercial came on.
And what would you do with it then?
You'd play it. You could put it in your...
And then would you have to rewind it?
Absolutely.
Oh, do you remember having to rewind like VHS tapes?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the last one. Manually putting down your window. Who still has a 1990s or an early 2000s car that you still have to put
Crank
your
down
window
the
down?
window.
Yeah, we got it made over here, don't we?
We do.
All right, so those are all some of the funny
Cushy.
ones.
Cushy.
Frank Sims says we used to make our favorite mixtapes.
It's true. Yeah, we used to make mixtapes. I think it was Dave just said that you had to push down the record and the play at the same time.
Man.
No, it was Nicole Walker. Yeah. Yep.
Susan
And you
Keys
could call the
make
DJ and request
mixtapes.
it. That's true. You could say, "Hey, I want you to play the song," and so you would wait for it to come on.
How did they have a radio? What did they do? Did they just have a bunch of cassette tapes? How did the radio play different songs?
They would play it
Was
on
vinyl?
Probably.
Wow. You know, my
Although,
generation.
Some of them played reel to reel too.
Wow.
Do you even know what that is?
Oh, what? Oh, we've had so many good memories. 20 people watching right now. Thank you for joining us.
So glad to have you guys. Seriously, it is so good to be back.
Yeah, funny things other generations don't understand. The biggest reason why we want to started with this tonight for season episode 1 is one, just to get us laughing about all the differences in generations. Okay.
Because what happens is those experiences actually form the way you think also.
Yep.
And so, we are having a little lighter tonight, but some of these conversations we're going to have over the next few weeks are going to be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of differences between generations and how we're going to deal with some of these things and talk about it. But again, getting back to the point that we can talk about things is what's going to be so crucial here.
Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. Even just in the differences in language, 40 years, okay, from the 70s
I don't know if you
to
saw
2020.
what Susan said a little bit ago. Said, what the heck with Gen Z making up all these words?
I know.
It's a whole new...
Yeet.
Yeah, it's a whole new...
I know. But it just gets, again, not just forms the way you think about people, but then it also gives you the opportunity to expand your grace for different areas, okay? And so...
That's a great point.
And that's part of what we're asking all of our church and all of our podcast listeners to do this season, because we are, like I said, we're talking about sexuality. We're going to be talking about church abuse and regaining trust in church leaders. We're going to talk about politics in the church. We're going to talk about toxic masculinity. We're going to be talking about addiction. Some very light stuff on the agenda this season. Right. But the reason we wanted to do it on the podcast is so we can have a discussion about it, generate some of your thoughts so that we can actually respond in discussion.
And it's not that we're going to either say what's right or wrong or take sides or what have you. We're just going to have the conversation of, have you thought of this?
Yep, and share generational approaches, share pastoral approaches, share some healthy responses, some unhealthy responses. I sent you and Bruce a picture yesterday. And it just really had got me thinking the last couple hours, because someone resent it to me today. But this was what it said, okay? 2,000 years from now, people will not understand the difference between butt dial and booty call. 2,000 years from now, people will not understand the difference between butt dial and booty call.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why the Bible is hard to understand. And not just the Bible, cultural norms, different theologies, different philosophies. And so as we talk about things that we say are black and white, or this is how the writer meant it, or this is what the politician said, we have to understand that media plays a role. Our backgrounds play a role. Our upbringing plays a role. How we think about the world plays a role. How you were raised in the pull them up by your bootstraps. What are emotions? And I was raised in the we're going to hug our fathers and we're going to have a lot of physical touch and we're going to share everything at the end of the day because we're a family that cares about our emotions and our well-being. It requires us, when we enter into these discussions, to extend the grace for others that we hope is extended to us.
And try to understand those backgrounds and where they're coming from.
Exactly.
And like you said, be able to give each other grace, because there's just not enough of that happening nowadays.
Yeah, and defensiveness is also often our immediate response.
Yep.
Impulsivity, whenever we are responding, man, what if we... And it's not even... Like, obviously, when you respond impulsively, usually it's tied to emotions, okay? Some people are just impulsive people, Okay, so what would it look like if your impulsive response is grace and patience?
Right.
Grace and, like, if you're going to respond impulsively, like, let's not assume the worst about the person across the table.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked all the time how when, I first got hired in, 2018, you and I, we had butted heads on certain topics. You and I thought differently about, a few things politically, socially, theologically. And so we were butting heads. And then 2020 happened and, we had a really good kind of breakthrough moment.
Right.
And we were talking about this last week. We both humbled ourselves and started seeing each other through the lens of grace.
And getting to a point to say, I want to learn how you're thinking.
Yep.
And not just man, I don't know why you're thinking that. It's seriously, what am I? We came from the humility part is the part I think is huge. Is what am I missing here?
Yeah.
What am I? Could I be wrong?
Yep.
And I think I would say we both have come a long way in that.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it's why we're able to do this podcast.
Yeah. And so if we can get us through this course of all these tough conversations we're going to have, or these tough topics we're going to have, is it possible for you to see another side of this?
Yeah, and it's not asking you to change your stance.
Not
it's
at all.
asking you to consider that the other person has thought through,
maybe not be a
and
dipstick.
cared to. Yeah,
Maybe they're really not a dipstick after all.
and even if you still think they're a dipstick, like, they're still a person.
Right.
Like, they're still
that's brilliant.
made in the image of God.
Absolutely.
You don't have to value their stance, just value the person.
Absolutely.
And so, well, hey, it's 7:30. This was just a blast. Thank you for all of you watching, tuning in with us. This season is going to be great. We're actually doing our first interview on the podcast. We're the author of the book, 7 Ways LGBTQ Christians Experience Harm in the Church. The author of that book is coming live on us and just going to answer a ton of questions about how the church can navigate homosexuality and just sexuality in general, and how in the past we've missed the mark. We're going to be talking about, like I said, toxic masculinity and is there a place for politics in the church? With the 2024 election
we're
coming
right around
up in
the corner,
November.
and it's just everything's ramping up.
Everything's ramping up. And so I'm so excited about this season. There's going to be some good conversations, some hard conversations. Tune in with us. The second Thursday of every month is our serious night. If you haven't tuned in with us before, so we're going to have one of these tough conversations. The fourth Thursday of every month is our game night.
Right.
And so September 28th, 2 weeks from tonight, we will be playing Pictionary. And we even have some different games planned this year.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing Speak Out, Mad Gab, like I said, Pictionary in a couple weeks. We got some, obviously, our 5th annual Halloween game night, which will be fun. But check in, lean in. We're going to have some good conversations. But, hey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am so excited about the season. We hope you have a great rest of your evening.
And thank you for all the comments even tonight. It's been great. So
it's been a blast.
Keep that up. It's going to be good.
Yep. Well, hey, have a great rest of your